All right, so there we go. I think we're back now. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see how that goes. Got sniped. That was the way it was put in the last chat. So if we don't get anybody to come on over, I think we will, though. But if we don't, we still have plenty of guys that we wanted to talk about. And if not, then that's fine, too, because we were going on for like 45 minutes. And who knows if people want to hear us talk that long anyway. So got a new stream going, and we'll see if we can get I don't have any of the other platforms going. It's just YouTube now. We'll see how that goes. So, hey, Austin, any more thoughts about spring training for today?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Dodgers didn't come out on top, but there were still other good performances out there. I think one of the guys that we just mentioned talking about, Ben Kasparius, went out there and I thought looked pretty solid with what he had. Did give up the one run, but I don't think that's necessarily Ben's fault. I think he's going to go out there, and I think there's a lot of good expectations that you can have from Ben Kasparius coming up this season. And I think this is the start of many for him to come this upcoming season. I think he's going to be one of these guys that the Dodgers are going to rely upon this season, which is an incredible journey for him coming up. So it's really great to see him go out there and have a little bit of success out there.
It absolutely was. Ben Kasparius is a young man, and we do have our crowd coming back right now. Hey, Gregory. Yeah, this is actually our second stream that we put together. There's Ben Kasparius there. So young man out of Connecticut, went to North Carolina as a shortstop and kind of a two-way player, but more so of a shortstop. He can really hit. And so another one of these guys like River Ryan, like Chris Campos that we talked about, two-way player, great athlete, great arm. And so it just kind of wasn't working out for him there at North Carolina. And so then he transferred back home to Connecticut to play for Tom Penders for UConn. I got to see UConn in 2019. They played Oklahoma State at the Bricktown Ballpark, by the way, where AAA Oklahoma City plays in a regional. And, man, they were good. I mean, they were really good. Matter of fact, they were so good that I went over to Coach Penders, and I can't remember. They had three guys that just wore OSU out. And I went over to Coach Penders, and I went over to all three guys, and I said, guys, I'm glad Oklahoma State won, don't get me wrong, but I gained so much respect for you guys. You guys are just absolutely amazing. Congratulations on a wonderful year. And the main player, the shortstop guy, there's Andre Lipsius that they're seeing there, the shortstop guy for Connecticut. Interesting part of that summer I was on the Oklahoma City grounds crew. He came through AAA with a different team, and I remembered him, and he remembered me. And we actually had to get got a conversation going. So from the University of Connecticut in May or June, all the way about a month and a half later, he had made it all the way up to AAA. That's how good UConn was. I say that to say that team literally was the team that drew Ben Kasparius back to UConn. So he went to UConn. He's always had that crown jewel of a slider. He's always been able to throw his off-speed pitches in the zone for strikes. But the fastball has always been like 92, 93, 94. Got it unlocked this last year. Really gone to work at finding the best version of himself. And he's definitely done that. So Ben Kasparius, if you can't root for him, kind of like I said with Hunter Fiducia yesterday, then you don't have blood in your veins, because this dude's a great dude.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Great story, too, just with some of the struggles that he had in the minor leagues to now coming up and having a lot of success to starting Game 4 of the World Series. It's just incredible to see his progression continue to go. And the confidence that is just growing in Ben Kasparius is so apparent out of him. I think it's an incredible positive to be able to watch. And it's the reason why the Dodgers drafted him, where they drafted him, when they drafted him, is because the stuff is really good. And I think you're able to see that. You're just able to showcase that stuff right now. Ben Kasparius is absolutely amazing.
Hey, by the way, we have CNAV back. CNAV left a $10 super chat on the last show. So thanks, CNAV. Thank you so much. You're a rock star. Dropped another one. He wasn't quite sure where all that went and all that, so he just dropped another one. How about that, Austin? CNAV's the best, isn't he?
Yeah, CNAV's amazing. Yeah, all of you guys are absolutely incredible to see that. But Chris Navarro, CNAV, yeah, thank you so much for that. Incredibly appreciative of that and all the support that you've had for Dodgers Daily over the years, for Casey and for myself as well. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, you didn't get to experience this, Austin, but watching the broadcast, I have it on all my social medias, okay? Go to my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of them. and click on, I think Michael Conforto is at the plate. And the national treasure, Rick Monday, went on for almost 2 minutes about the Dodgers culture. And he went on exactly what Austin and I talk about all the time, about how the first thing the Dodgers vet is the type of person that they're evaluating to come to the organization. And the first thing that has to fit is, will they fit in the clubhouse? Will they fit in the culture? Are they the type of person that we want in our clubhouse? It was very gratifying for me because I know I wear Dodgers fans' asses out with this, with the term culture. But don't believe me. Go to my social media and listen to the national treasure himself, Rick Monday, talk all about it. That was a great 2 minutes. And by the way, Tim Neverett does so much homework on these rookie. I message him probably once a day. I can't tell you how many messages I get from the parents of these players that are super appreciative of Tim Neverett because he knows what college they went to. He knows what their grandpa's name was. He knew Jack Dreyer's dad pitched in the major leagues. He knows if an uncle was I mean, Tim Neverett is a stud when he's talking about these prospects. I've thanked him for that many different times. And so, man, if you're watching Dodgers Daily, obviously you like prospects to an extent. And you have to enjoy listening to Tim Neverett because he just nails it. So I like to play a lot of the audio clips between him and Rick Monday, and I thought that was really cool today.
Yeah, I obviously haven't had the chance to listen to that yet, but it is something we talk about all the time. Culture matters, and this organization puts an entire emphasis on that, up and down, from the top and the bottom of this organization to the broadcasters as well. It's great to be able to see that and see the recognition that gets, obviously, by Dodgers broadcasters, but there's an insane amount of truth to that, which is so incredibly apparent if you spend a decent amount of time with the people within this organization. I think it's awesome to be able to see that, and I'll be able to go out to the game tomorrow. Great to be there in person. But then starting on Sunday, which I'll be getting home super early on Sunday, so we'll see about Sunday. I'll be able to listen to a lot of these games and enjoy listening to Tim Neverett, Rick Monday, and everybody else that they have working that career. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they absolutely are amazing. So I had a question on X, and the question was Brady Smith, Logan Wagner, and Cameron Decker. And I actually have messaged all three of them. And the way that, just so you'll know, if you ever ask me about a player's health or anything that's kind of investigative, okay, I will ask if most of the time I will. But the way I put it is, hey, if you don't feel comfortable, don't respond. Or if you'd rather this be off the record, I totally understand. And so I had a question about Brady Smith. Is he going to be healthy? Logan Wagner, is he going to be healthy? Cameron Decker, is he going to be healthy? So I shot them all three a message. Hey, had this question. I told them I would ask. You guys going to be healthy? No problem if you don't want to respond. So what I normally get is, I get an answer. But the other thing I also get is, hey, just keep this off the record. But here's the situation. Sometimes I get a no response at all. That happens every now and then. But I have not gotten a response from Logan Wagner. I've never actually communicated with Logan before. I've never seen him play. I've not interviewed him. So I'll be surprised if I actually do get a message back from him. But Cameron Decker, right off the bat, absolutely can't wait, fired up. Cameron Decker is ready to go, totally healthy. And as far as Brady Smith, remember, very talented young man the Dodgers picked in 2023 out of high school, had UCL reconstruction last January. Brady Smith is now throwing bullpens, and he should get in some games towards the end of spring training. So exciting for those two young men.
Yeah, it's really exciting for those two guys. I can't wait for them because I think at some point, hopefully, we'll be able to see them in Great Lakes. Cameron Decker, I think, will definitely get a chance to see in Great Lakes quite a bit. I think all of those guys are an incredibly talented group of young players. So be patient with a lot of these guys, wait for their progression, and trust the process with how things are going to go. And I think if you do that, allow them to be able to continue to work and just be ready to go, I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. And we've had 2 streams tonight because I tried to play too much of the video from the game today. That's perfectly okay. Hey, here's the thing about Dodgers Dawgs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network. We try to almost perfectly mimic the way that the organization operates, correct? And so one of the things that there's some kind of, I don't know if your deal's hitting your shirt or something, Austin, but we're getting kind of a static with it as far as your earbuds. Can you tell if your earbuds are touching anything there?
I don't know exactly. Let me try something real quick.
Yeah, there you go. That fixed it right there. Okay, so one of the things that the Dodgers preach is to not be afraid to try something new and fail, right? And so I am certainly not afraid to try to go out on 5 different platforms, which we've done. And then you remember, like for those first couple of days, I kept sending out weird YouTube deals. I wasn't afraid to fail there. Finally got it figured out to where I'm on all 5 platforms. Wasn't afraid to fail to try to play as much video for you Dodgers dogs out there as I possibly could. And YouTube took the shotgun to me, right? and cut it off. So I had to start a new stream. So, hey, I tried. In my best interest, trying to find the best version of Dodgers Dogs, got cut off, so we had to start a second stream. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to learn these things as we go throughout spring training, and we're going to try different things. And if we need to be cut short, YouTube's going to cut us short, and they had no hesitation doing that today.
Yeah, 100%. And I actually did know that. I think I got cut off once last year too. But again, trying to push the limits. I like doing that to find the best version of the show that we possibly can. So Austin, okay, any final thoughts here before we get out of here? We've been going on for about an hour and 15 minutes between the two different shows. And if you're out there in the audience, if there's anybody else or any part of the game today that you want us to cover, any other prospect, let us know. We'll get to it.
Yeah, there was a lot of exciting stuff that happened, especially pitching-wise with Duran, with Campos. Those were exciting. Maytag was out there pitching. A lot of exciting stuff. You got to see some of the position players as well. Got to see Gator at shortstop. You got to see Griffin Lockwood-Powell as the first baseman. Ryan Ward had a little bit of a bounce back today, had a nice catch out in the outfield, bouncing back from the game. That just rough play on the Thursday game, but it was good to see him go back out there. I was really impressed. This not prospect wise. First player out on the field was Mookie Betts working on his shortstop. He was going out there and trying to do everything possible to be the best shortstop that he possibly can be, which the competitive nature on him, it can't be overstated. He goes out there and he competes and tries to do everything possible. He was the first player out there. He was taking ground balls at the shortstop position an hour plus before the game started. I was really impressed to see his process, his ability to go out there. And if he can stick at the shortstop position, that's going to open up a world of possibilities for this Dodgers team. I'm excited to see what he's able to do and how this team continues to progress going forward. There's a lot of exciting stuff prospect-wise, and there is going to continue to be. I'm excited to see more of that coming tomorrow with the game, to see who else gets involved in there. But let's also remember, this team has a mission. This team has a goal, and they are trying to decide what is going to be the best version of this club to be able to go out there and win during the 2025 season. Who are the guys that are going to prove themselves the most? Right now, Mookie Betts, I think, is doing a really solid job at the shortstop position. Mm-hmm. I think the throws have been decent, which is one of the things that you're looking out for Mookie Betts is how is his throwing ability. And so then how the other parts of the team are going to be able to progress is incredibly important, and guys need to be able to step up and showcase themselves in the best moment to be able to make this puzzle work. So exciting times to be a Dodger. Baseball is back. This is what we've been waiting months for ever since the conclusion of the World Series. So it's great to have Dodger baseball back. You prepared to go back to the snow? We have a question from CNAB there. So it was when I was leaving the airport to go ahead and fly over here, it was 4 or 5 degrees and snowy. And you've landed here and it's upper 70s. It's beautiful outside. There wasn't a whole lot of snow. There was a little bit of snow on some of the mountains when you're driving north of the Grand Canyon, which was a sight that I wasn't expecting to see. But in the area that we were at, there's no snow on the ground. It's super nice outside. I'm not necessarily looking forward to going back into the snow, but it'll be like that for a couple more weeks. I will say 6 more weeks until Loons baseball gets back. Great Lakes Loons will be starting in 6 weeks. That's something I can be excited about.
What will be the temperature of the first pitch when they throw the first pitch?
In Great Lakes, it will be a question of whether it's going to be in the 30s or the 40s.
So you have one more day in Arizona?
Yes,
right?
Yeah. I'll be at the game tomorrow. Then we're flying back. We're flying back late tomorrow night. So just tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last game that I'll be able to go to in spring training in person.
So we have a question from Jay. You mentioned that Robo would be pissed about giving up a bomb. Thoughts on controlling emotions in general? Two sides of the coin. So it's very much so individualized. So as a coach, you got to know each individual personality. Like Bobby Miller is a guy that you don't need to feed energy to. He's not a guy that you want to treat like a football player where you're trying to hype up. He's a guy where you need it to be calm. You actually need to be working your entire time to get him into more of an analyzation mode and trying to actually reduce some of the energy level that he brings out there. He tries to play football on a baseball field. Bobby Miller does, right? Robo, I've known Robo long enough to know if you're coaching Robo and you're trying to bring out the best version of Robo, start talking crap. I don't think you can do this. I'll bet you can't do that. I'll bet you can't do this. You can't. That punk over there is getting ready to hit a home run off your ass, right? That kind of stuff, you've seen it. Whenever the other team's crowd starts talking crap to Justin Robleski, he is going to immediately start shoving, right? And so Robo's a little bit different. He's the type that as a coach, you kind of want to prick a little bit and you want to kind of piss him off and you want to just kind of get him on that edge like, I'll show that fat little son of a bitch, man. I guarantee you he's wrong about that, right? That's kind of how you treat a Justin Robleski. Whereas like a Ben Kasparius, literally you just walk out there like a college professor and go, Ben, here's your textbook. Here's what you're doing today. Read chapter 9 and then go out and pitch. That's Ben Kasparius, right? And so each personality is different. With Gavin Stone just is Gavin Stone. He is compete mode. You can treat him like a football player. You can pump him energy. That's going to make his changeup move more. That's going to make his fastball add a couple of ticks. And with Jack Dreyer, you can do all of it. That's why I like Jack Dreyer. You can piss him off. You've seen that where he can get pissed and try to prove you're wrong. You can walk out there like Ben Kasparius and say, hey, Jack, here's your textbook. Read chapter 10 and then go pitch, right? Or you can go out there and just kind of lower the energy and say, hey, Jack, you're better than this guy. Just go in and throw a strike and let's go hit. I'm kind of cold and I'm hungry and I'm ready to eat, so go ahead and put this guy away, okay? So you can treat him in every which way. And so from a mentality perspective, that's one of the reasons why I like Jack Dreyer so much. So that's a long answer to say it is absolutely individualized. And that's why also when you watch Dodgers Dogs, we're able to nail who's going to get picked up in the Rule 5 and who's going to get put on the 40-man or the guys that are going to go at first, because we've seen these mentalities and we know the other side of that.
Yeah, and speaking to Robo individually, I remember seeing that exact thing play out during his time in Great Lakes. He had one of the greatest starting pitching seasons in Great Lakes history, but it didn't necessarily start off that way. It didn't start off completely. And I remember an outing, this was one of the first interactions that I had with Casey, actually interacting with him, was a start in Fort Wayne. And it was one of those Thursday night crowds where they were lively, where they were yelling at him with Robo. Oh yeah. They were yelling at him a whole lot. And you look you look at the outings from that start in Fort Wayne towards the end of April, and you look at the rest of his season, he used that as motivation. He used that as fuel, and he did not want to have the crowd have anything to be able to yell and showcase out for him. I think obviously yesterday gave up the home run during that inning. I don't think that's going to be anything to unravel him. In fact, I think that's going to be something that's going to be used as fuel, as motivation going forward. And I think he's going to be able to take that experience and be able to find different ways to be able to approach it. Robo is a professional. He's going to be able to use his failures as fuel to the fire to be the best pitcher he possibly can be.
So do you wear your Loon stuff that you're wearing?
Oh yeah.
To the game? Does anybody have any clue what you actually have on?
Most of the time, no. It was
Yeah.
actually funny. There is I think one other group of people that was wearing that had like a Loons hat on, and they were taking some pictures and stuff. So I just said, "Go Loons," and they kind of walked away. Didn't recognize them at all. But for the most part, no, nobody's got any clue. They've got this sign that shows the affiliates, and there's the Loons that are out there, so you can actually see if you're at the stadium. You can actually see Loon Stadium, 2,061 miles away.
Yeah.
But see, that,
really?
I'm not making any of this stuff up.
How far is Oklahoma City?
I don't remember exactly. That was
About the
all I
same.
saw. Yeah. It's not close. Let's just put it that way. But I'm walking around, and if I'm going to go out there and be at the stadium, might as well not just go and wear exactly what everybody else is. Might as well go and showcase the Loons hats and stuff. And you got to rep Loons stuff, rep Loons gear, loons.milbstore.com. Go get yourself some of these Loons merch as well.
Yeah, so I'm actually searching this right now. It is 1,327 miles from Oklahoma City to that's actually Glendale there. So let's just say, where are you at right now, Austin? Phoenix?
It is just south of Glendale is where I'm at.
Yeah, for some reason it gave me Glendale, California.
Oh,
Okay,
awesome.
to Glendale, Arizona. Let's do that. Okay, so it is 968 miles from Oklahoma. So how hard? You said that's almost 2,000 to Michigan?
Yeah, it's a little
Wow.
over 2,000.
Yeah, so over twice as far. I wouldn't have thought that. Okay, so I say that to say when Michael, you have this, for the people who did recognize the Loons are a Dodgers affiliate. Michael Busch gets a hit yesterday, and I'm sure you were cheering. I know you were cheering because that was super exciting for you. And I'm sure all the Dodgers fans were like, what in the heck are you doing?
Yes, yeah, that is the weird dynamic, especially when you have a roster that is as stacked as the Dodgers. That means that the best opportunity for a lot of these guys that are coming up through the system often is not with the Dodgers organization, which is not a product of them doing anything wrong necessarily. It just means that there isn't the perfect fit for them with the Dodgers. So having a player like that who came up with the Loons, didn't get to see him a whole lot, but he was part of the Great Lakes and part of this Dodger system for quite a bit. See him go out there and have success, really awesome to see. It's going to be like that for anybody that comes up through the system that I've gotten to showcase. Yes, obviously want the Dodgers to win the game, but if they have a little bit of success along the way too, I think that's a good thing to be able to see. And with Michael Busch, to see him continue to have some success would be a really good thing.
Yeah. So, hey, Gregory, I want to thank you so much for joining. Cole, thank you so much. Duran did definitely look good. CNAV, another $20 super chat. Wow. Thanks, Casey and Austin, for the show. This is the only cast I'm going to watch during the season. I watch every Dodgers game and plan on watching way more minor league games. Definitely my favorite Dodgers cast. Well, can't thank you enough for that. So that is awesome. We've got kind of an interesting night tonight, Friday night in the big town again. Tried to play too much video on the first one. Got cut off by YouTube. They said, no more of that. So probably going to lose all monetization on that. So thank you so much for CNET to CNAV and everybody who donated to make up for that. That's absolutely awesome. Austin, it's absolutely awesome. You're in spring training. Any one more time final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to spend a little bit more time on the backfields at the minor league fields. Spend some more time with those guys, see how everything is going and progressing. That's where I enjoy a lot of the time in spring training. It's fun to see a lot of the big players, but to see the guys that I've gotten to know, it has been special because, especially once they leave Great Lakes, they're likely not coming back. We don't get a lot of rehab. We never get any rehab assignments, and to see guys that I thought I'd never see again unless I saw them at the big league field, it's been really cool to be able to go ahead and watch those games and see them in action one more time, even if it's just them taking batting practice again. So it's been an absolutely wonderful experience to be able to do that. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. I'm excited for the show on Monday because I'm sure there's going to be plenty more that we're going to talk about. We'll continue to talk about what's happening in spring training, the outings that have happened, as well as the battles that are happening on this roster, because I'm sure we'll have some thoughts as far as how guys are looking, especially as we get additional action from each one of these guys. I think that's going to help shape the decisions that the Dodgers are going to have to make, because over the course of this spring training, there's some important decisions that the Dodgers are going to have to make, and how they're going to showcase not just this Dodgers team, but future Dodgers teams. And I think it's going to depend on opportunity. It's going to depend on what's going to be best for this club and what is the fallout of that individual decisions or those decisions. I think it's going to be something that's going to be really important to watch. Something that I've showcased a lot on my most recent shows, but I'm excited to dive back into it. Not on my phone. My arm's kind of getting tired right now. I was about to fall asleep.
You been a trooper.
Oh, I know. But to do it in the normal studio back on Monday is going to be really exciting to be able to do. And it's going to be an important conversation that we're going to have.
Well, Austin, you know I love you Dodgers dogs out there. You know I love you too, but I love my 2 pit babies over there that are ready for daddy to get off the air. And I love my beautiful bride of 25 years. Way more than any of that. So, got to go. See ya.